So before we start, I will be introducing myself. My name is Hermine Mbondo. I am the programming and event manager here at the Canadian Women Chambers of Commerce. And a little bit about myself. I like to call myself a successful collaborator. I love working with women entrepreneurs. I've been in that space for over 8 years now before joining the chamber. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a creative, and it's really my pleasure to be moderating this session for you all. And I welcome you today from the land of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dini peoples, and home to the Métis Nation, covered in Treaty 1, colonially known as Winnipeg, Manitoba. And the Canadian Women's Chamber of Commerce is the first and the only chamber of commerce for women identified and gender diverse business owners, self-employed, located in Canada. And as a Chamber of Commerce, we represent your needs with the government, and our position and title as a chamber gives us access to people who impact change. We exist to improve the quality of life of over 1 million of women and gender diverse, self-employed, and business owners through advocacy with policymakers, and we aim to build a healthier and more inclusive Canadian economy. We are here to amplify the stories and the voices of women identified and gender diverse entrepreneurs and to fight for economic equity. So if you want to learn more about your land acknowledgement, please visit native-land.ca. And now let me introduce you to our presenter of the day, Hermine Mbondo. So Hermine Mbondo is an entrepreneur, marketing strategist, and a social advocate with over 15 years of experience in marketing, branding, and communications. She's also an impact investor, mentor, advisor, and educator dedicated to using marketing as a force for good. In 2017, she founded B for Brand, an award-winning storytelling-driven marketing agency with purpose-driven brands, leveraging her expertise to amplify the impact of organizations committed to making the world a better place. Her passion for fostering educational opportunities and inclusive spaces led her to launch a very own platform called the Global Impact Hub. It's an online marketing platform and community for change makers. So make sure that you check the link for that one. She also has a diverse background spanning from multiple countries. Her entrepreneurial journey has not only shaped her approach to marketing, but also deepened her commitment to supporting fellow entrepreneurs. She served as a board of director and marketing director at Widow Canada. Which is one of the largest movement dedicated to advancing and supporting women entrepreneurs. And she's also a CanWCC advisory board member. And she advised at different incubators program, accelerator programs, supporting equity deserving founders and mission driven initiatives. Her portfolio include collaboration with notable organizations and recognition as one as Canada's 100 Black women to watch. Hermine holds a master's degree in management from the SKEMA Business School. And with no further ado, welcome, Hermine, and we can't wait to hear from you today.
Thank you. Thanks, Karine. Thank you for the warm welcome. So we're going to talk about content. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this time around. And now it looks, okay, it looks perfect. Okay, so when Karine contacted me about content creation, so my goal was, like, I went back to what Karine said. I'm an educator, and for me, and it's something that I've seen with my students, I always try to kind of like help people develop critical thinking. Because like when we talk about content, there are so many different ways we could go. You know, we can talk about tools, and tools are tools, they change. But then I wanted us to go back to like what is very fundamental when you create content. It's like you need to create content with strategy. You can always learn new tools, you can always learn new trends, but as long as you're clear on your own brand, no matter the tools and the trends, believe me, content will help grow your business. So that's what we're going to try to see today. So I'm going to like talk about different things. We all hear women entrepreneurs, and there are things that are holding us back, at least based on my experience, coaching and advising women entrepreneurs. So once we have defined those things that are holding us back, we are going to try to move forward and really trying to define our content strategy, remove the I don't know what to post. This is something I've heard so many times. I don't know what to post. Yes, you do. You have a lot of things worth sharing, believe me. And then we're going to try to see how we can turn ideas into actual content. So I'm not going to reintroduce myself, but then we're going to go back. We're going to go to really the real struggles behind showing up online for women entrepreneurs. The struggle is real. I guess everyone has heard, content is king. Just go, post. And you're like, okay, what should I do? So let's just trying to see here. I want to ask you all a question, and then Karine, if you can just like read what our fellow women entrepreneurs are sharing in the chat. So what feels hardest right now for you when it comes to creating your own content? Is it, I don't know, I'm just going to give you some ideas. Is it because you don't know what to say? Is it because maybe you're inconsistent? Or you overthink, everything? Or you just don't have the time? What feels really hardest right now?
Okay, I have Berin who said she's getting lost in social media.
Lost. In what way?
I think maybe Berin can elaborate on
Yeah,
that.
like when I go to the social media platform,
Yes.
I uh, I notice I get distracted easily and do other stuff.
Oh,
And it takes me more time than I want. So I don't wanna go and I delete the apps. So
oh,
I want the people I work with to do instead of me because I don't wanna do that. It's too much. I get lost and I spend so much time. So I would rather do something else for the business than go on social media and do the content.
I hear you. Thank you
Oh,
for sharing.
okay, and I have Tara who said getting sales.
Sales, okay.
Yeah, and then I have Audrey who said overthinking everything else you said. So she's overthinking. That's one of her hardest challenges. Yelena said it's finding my personal brand. Colin said spending the time to create the content when I have so much more to do. Tanya said the time to be consistent, how to be engaged in so many platforms, how to engage with new ones. And I have Coach Rena who said, I'm not sure how to make the most of LinkedIn search to find warm leads that are already interested in what I'm offering. Faiza said the algorithm game, they're very pushing. Grace said, I can't find time to be consistent and I don't want to follow trends, but staying true to me feels and appreciated by culture. Again, Otis says, still struggling with clarity with my audience. Victoria, reaching new clients. So those are the answers.
Wow, yeah, these are great answers, and you're not alone. You are not alone. That's what I want to tell you. And yeah, there are some challenges. Like just raise your hand. I guess we can all at some point raise our hand. In terms of like time and consistency, as a woman, especially if you're like a solo woman entrepreneur, you're juggling so many hats, like wearing different hats and like finding the time and posting consistently, like that's a challenge. Also not being clear on your messaging and even who your target audience is, like who are you talking to? Are you able to communicate your own unique value proposition? um Not having a strategy. Someone talked about sales, I guess. Like, why are you on social media? Like, what is your strategy? Are you trying to just get more visibility, or are you trying to get clients? How are you trying to accomplish that? The platform overwhelm. that's also something someone shared. The pressure to be active on multiple platforms. I don't know if I have any fellow marketers here. For example, like if you look at our own social media, like we're not really active everywhere. And it's interesting because like most marketers that I've met, they actually don't even have time to post for themselves because they like actually working for clients. So you have to be very strategic, even as a marketer, where you post to kind of have the best, I guess, like be just very efficient. And then the tech, like there's a learning curve with like all the tools, the algorithm, and what is really frustrating is like they change all the time, so you have to keep up. And I know it's a lot. And also as women, we also have like some other kind of challenges, like emotional and mindset challenges, like the fear of producing imperfect content. Like people will over edit, delay posting because they want to have the perfect post with the perfect caption, everything perfect. Or you just scared of being judged or criticized. So sometimes there's a discomfort to even want to show up online because of what other people can think about you. The imposter syndrome as well, comparing yourself like with other. And these are like actually real story. Like I have a good friend of mine. She had to mute a friend because she was seeing a lot of her posts and it was making her feel less than. So, and it's also actually interesting with like when I talk to women founders, it's like we have this ability to kind of also know our shortcomings, but that's also something that can happen. And then the lack of feedback, like you don't know what's working. You're just like, posting to post, but is it working? You're not sure. So these are some of the challenges that we have, and also, converting clients, like prospect into clients and getting sales. But I want to tell you, and thanks for sharing, everyone. If you encounter any of these challenges, I want to say congratulations, because at least you're trying. You're at least trying. You're at least trying to put yourself out there. So that's the first step. But my goal here today is to make you understand that you have to do it strategically. It's not just putting yourself out there. It's like, what is the strategy behind? So you need to understand that content itself is not the problem. It's the lack of clarity that you might have. And then the tools are not always the solution. Like tools are tools. They're really just tools. But your strategy is like what is going to be consistent and that you will try to adapt based on the different tools. I wanted to show you two posts. Why I was showing you these are two of my posts, it's because if you don't have a strategy, if you're not really clear, like sometimes we don't even know how to read the matrix. So, for example, this first post here, which is like my business post, you can see it's only 5 likes, and I'll literally just 4 likes because like one of the likes is mine, so it doesn't really count. So you can see only 5 likes, so 4 likes, I don't count, 2 comments, and 2 reposts. In your opinion, would you say this is like a successful post based on what you see from the outside?
I would say it depends on who liked it and such, because if it's your target audience and it turned into a paying client, it's better than having so many likes.
Okay,
Who
so
doesn't turn into a client, no?
okay, so at least you're not saying, okay, 4 likes is not a lot of likes. You're just right away thinking, who liked the post? So is it my target audience? So you were more about thinking about who liked this post. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And also, did this like post turn to help me get the lead generation? Like basically, yeah, they saw this, they didn't like it, but they come to my business because of this post. Because not everybody sees the doesn't like just goes to the business. That can happen too.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good points. Thank you. Anyone else would like to maybe share their opinion, whether that was a successful post or not? Just like based on first impression.
You posted, and that's what mattered. So that makes it successful. It's out there.
Yes, I love the way you see things. I love it. Like at least you post, for sure. Some people saw it that it's a success because like not posting, no one will see what you want to share. So at least when you post, yeah, in a sense, it's always a success. I love how you see things.
What I will contribute here, Herman, is that what I'm seeing is very true to social media. When you post something like the one on the left versus what we're seeing on the right, where you're doing something and they're seeing your face, they're seeing you're talking to an audience, they're more likely to respond to those types of posts. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I don't like to post on social media, because I don't always like to take photos of myself and post. So when I post my other stuff, it looks like the response you're seeing on the left, but when I put a picture up, it looks like what you're seeing on the right. And so it's not that the other post wasn't successful, it's just what people are accustomed to looking or programmed to look for.
Yeah, yes, and that's a very good point because one is a company post and the other one is my own personal post, which is not a company post. So that one is more personal. But yeah, actually this was meant, it's just my presentation. I was meant to like show you one and then the other. But like just if we go back to the first one, and then what is also interesting is like we can see metrics from like a company post versus a personal post. But for this first post, actually, what I wanted to tell you is like when you don't have a strategy, so like sometimes you look at some metrics that will be kind of like that won't really help you in a sense that like this post, let's say that was in my company, if I was just looking based on what I can see, I see 5 likes, 2 reposts, 2 comments. I'm like, that's not like a lot of likes. But actually, this post got me a 50K contract. Like this post, just I'm saying 4 likes because this is not even like my I liked one of them. So what I was trying to say is like don't get caught up on some metrics. And then that goes back to the person who was telling, I don't know how to convert clients. I got a contract, a 50K contract that was literally related to something like related to like dyslexia, because we did this post where we talk about the fact that when we do design, our design is inclusive by design. It was kind of like playing with the word design. But then we were explaining like it was very just like educating people on something about dyslexia, which is kind of like a really niche. It might not attract a lot of people, but then it attracted the people that actually matters. And we got a 50K contract just on this post that only got 4 likes. This one is different. The other one on the right, which is more a personal post, because like I posted it on with my own LinkedIn profile. So this is no longer my company. You can see these are like more likes. What I wanted to actually explain is like what those posts accomplished. The first one got us a 50K contract. The second one got me a feature in a magazine. Like literally, I usually get some like different features. I know like based on what I post and when someone reaches out to me, I know the post that actually converted the person to be like, oh, you like what you're saying is interesting. We would like to feature you. So what I'm trying to say is like, and then this is showing you like 2 different strategy with the business and your personal brand. If this is something you want to develop alongside your own business. But when you have a strategy, like, you won't get caught up on, oh, what's the trend? Oh, it's only 5 likes. That was not a good post. It's like literally here I knew who I was talking to, and that got me that kind of and that got me that contract. And on the other side, it was just me, like, actually that was not even intentional, just sharing something, but it resonated with other people who thought that was interesting. So that being said, now we're going to see how you can define your own content strategy. And the first step is just really getting clear on your brand. And when we say brand, this is more like on the branding. Like, when we talk about brand, usually we talk about the tangible elements of a brand and the intangible elements. So what we're going to focus on here are the intangible elements of your brand, because whether it's your company or your personal brand, it doesn't matter. It's just a brand on a technical kind of level. And these are the elements you need to focus on, because these will help define your why. So when it comes to the intangible element of the brand, every brand will have a promise. Like, that's the value or experience customers can expect to receive every single time they interact with your company or your personal brand. Brands will have what we call brand drivers. So these are more detailed promises that are directly connected to the main brand promise that you make. You will all have, for ourselves or a company, we all have like the vision where we're aspiring to take the brand, the purpose, which is the why, the reason why, not just the reason why your brand exists, but also the reason why it matters. Like, why should it matter to other people? And the mission, like what you do to reach your destination and fulfill your purpose. And then these are other elements like the values, your beliefs, what you stand for. We all have our own personal values, or like values for our company brand. Every brand has a personality. So that will be a set of human traits that define a brand and build an emotional connection to a specific target audience with similar traits. Because you're not trying to attract everyone, that's not your goal. I show you the post, the before brand post that was like really about accessibility. That was for a very specific target audience. So you need to know your target audience, and what benefits they seek, and what they currently believe about those products, like the products you might have or services that you have, whatever that you're selling as an offer. And every brand has what we call content pillars, or topics that matter to you, that you will be known for. You're going to be talking about those topics because you want to become an expert. I've been an entrepreneur now, it's been 8 years. At this point, and I've seen like the evolution. At the beginning, when I started entrepreneurship, I was putting myself out there. I was literally a lot putting myself out there. Now it's more different. It's more like other people talking about me. But I've seen the evolution. It's because I positioned myself on like very specific content pillars that eventually I started being recognized as an expert. So we should all have topics that it matters to us. We are vocal about. We're going to be talking about those. And that's how eventually, the more we're going to be talking about those consistently and bringing some very interesting perspectives, slowly we're going to start being seen as experts. And I've seen the evolution in 8 years, even though I kind of evolved. Like, at the beginning, I was just an entrepreneur. Eventually, now I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm also an impact investor, for example. But like, for example, in having an impact in whatever I was doing, whether it was the way I was choosing my clients, or the spaces I was showing up, the partners that I was collaborating with. Every single time, even though I evolved, I was still able to keep that kind of content pillar as I was evolving, it was just like I was growing in that space versus jumping, and like going to different spaces and changing all the time my content pillars. The more you're consistent in that space and like the more actually you grow, the better, in a sense, people will really see you as an expert in that specific space, if that makes sense. Okay, so moving on now, I want to ask you all, why do you want to create content? Why do you want to be on social media?
I'm on social media mostly for business.
What do you mean for business, and which platforms?
Well, if we have business, then we need to market our products. So somebody has to know that they exist. So that's what I'm there for, what I'm there to do. I spend most of my time now on LinkedIn. I don't think I very good with Instagram and Twitter or X, whatever it's called. And I find that Facebook, it's very superficial. Maybe because of where my focus is in business, but for Facebook, it's usually just personal stuff. So LinkedIn is where I talk more about my business and my services.
Okay, so when you say for business, is it for visibility, to attract clients, to these kind of things?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
no problem.
I think I see some messages in the chat.
Yeah, I can go through them. So we have Perrine, who said she's on social, she wants to create content to reach ideal clients. And Tara said because it's free marketing. Karima said for lead generation and creating a brand for my business. Tanya said to help people see another way. Yelena said to promote and showcase my business. She's on LinkedIn as well. She said she's using it to share experiences and expertise. Grace said to educate and inform stakeholders about specific issues, attract partnerships and support. She also works in the non-profit space. And then Audrey said education and product service sales.
And product service sales?
Yeah, she create content to promote for education.
I
And
can come
also, I
online
guess,
for a sec.
perfect, just go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, we're just about to get into a vehicle, so I've been staying offline. Yeah, so my business it's around sexual wellness. So part of it is product sales, and this is sort of where I struggle with my branding because products and I do educational as well, like workshops. So a big part of my aspect is educating, but really trying to narrow it to why do they need to know what they need to know in terms of buying a product, buying a lubricant, buying that kind of a thing. So for me, it's very much, educating people at a broader level. And I think my content I struggle with that because I think I go too high level about wanting to educate about issues instead of being able to focus it on my business and what I want, which is to sell product and sell workshops essentially.
Can I ask you, because and first of all, thank you for sharing. So you said it's mostly to educate. Are you also able to monetize that educational
I'm
content?
just starting to, like tonight, I'm actually doing my first online workshop series, just starting it tonight. So just the first, yeah, I'm starting.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be recording the educational portion of it to be able to have. So yeah, I'm now just starting to build these things, but very much I'm struggling with the fact that the bread and butter is the sales, but the passion is the education. So
Yeah.
that's my challenge.
Yes, and I think it's like a lot of us, like I was also like you at the beginning, like as women, we love to share, like more, like now more like money, 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 money. So it's always good to like think about, because you're spending the time, producing, creating all that content, you want to have some return on your investment, because nothing is free. Even your time that you're spending doing this, like, it's not free. So yeah, that's why I was asking. Thank you.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate this because I feel like this is really what I need to be able to just kind of figure out that high level strat and how to do this myself rather than kind of getting other people to kind of tell me what I should be doing, sort of thing. So I really do appreciate this session. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And it's great to know why you are on social media or why you create content, because based on like your why, you might have different strategies as well. Like I was sharing with Audrey, for me, nothing is free. Absolutely nothing is free. Even the free stuff, like I would put free, like quote free, I really try to somehow get the return on investment. So then it's like more focusing on what is going to be more efficient versus just creating and putting content out there. Now that I know why, can I know what are your top 3 content pillars?
I'm still sorting that out, actually.
This is very, very important.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here. I do have to jump into a vehicle, so I won't be able to continue on my part of this chat, but I'll keep listening though.
Okay, sounds
Thank
great.
you though.
Thanks, Audrey.
What was your last question, Hermine?
Yes, I wanted to know what are your top 3 content pillars? What are you known for, basically?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to share, Grace?
I could. I mentioned earlier, I work in the nonprofit sector, so, but I'm very specifically focused on youth homelessness.
Okay.
That's a space where I work. So yeah, I really want to look at like just addressing youth homelessness as a very different issue from adult homelessness. So that's what my organization sort of exists to do. I think that what drew me into the space was just seeing that, in summary, the solutions that have been designed for homelessness were designed for adults. So younger people tend to just fall through the cracks with existing solutions. So I'm just challenging myself to be more creative with designing youth-sized solutions to homelessness, because this is a real problem. If we have 25% of homeless people identified as homeless, are under the age of 25, 24, I think that is a significant problem. Why is that happening? Then the second pillar for me also is to say, I'm kind of trying to build a muscle to become to disrupt the system, because this solution so far has been driven by more like there's a disconnect between policymakers and the front line is really what I see. So policy designs are not responding to the realities of the front line. How can we change that? And then my third one is challenging crisis investment versus prevention investments.
Okay, so like if I go to, for example, your LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, so I'm guessing you're creating content around youth homelessness.
You will not judge me very kindly if you were to judge me by my LinkedIn, because in spite of every effort to push me, sometimes when I'm feeling good enough, I throw things in there. But the first point you made at the beginning, I don't think I started to come on LinkedIn with a strategy yet. So basically, it's just I'm feeling good. I have some time on my hands. Oh, yeah, I'm going to dump this one. Whatever is in my head, I'm dumping it there, you know. So the strategy has been lacking. But these 3 things, which is why I'm here, is because I think I have the headspace now to start to really articulate that messaging and connecting with the with the space and creating a voice.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't know how to do it. I've been making excuses for the longest time, but I think I'm starting to feel ready to do it right now. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Grace. And exactly, like your content pillars are like you need to communicate those pillars for people to know that you have that expertise and your voice should be heard in those spaces. So in terms of like, and that's why I was asking you. Oh, and that's why I was asking you, for example, if I see your profile on LinkedIn, have you communicated any content about youth homelessness? Have you, like, how do you show up in those space to kind of bring a fresh perspective to what is existing and also to promote your organization? Like, what do you guys do that is different, that is really targeting that problem, addressing that problem? So yeah, I will very much encourage you to really start showing up in those spaces. And like by showing up is like maybe commenting, then creating your own post. But we need to know, like, if I look you up, Grace, and I should be like, oh yes, this person is talking about that topic. But thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. I'm feeling encouraged already just listening. So.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Anyone else would like to share their 3 content pillars? So if I go to the chat, so I see providing access to harder to find books, promoting literacy, supporting local LGBT authors. Oh, thanks, Yelena. Mostly posting when I have time. And it's more vibing and a real strategy. Okay, great. Okay, I'm just going through the chat. So for everyone, if you don't have your 3 content pillars, like really ask yourself, what are the spaces, like what I want to be known for? And then, like, are you sharing expertise, you can share your own experience or the impact, like who you're trying to help. But there are so many different ways. But like, ask yourself, what are my 3 content pillars? What are the spaces I really want to be in? Those spaces I really want to be known for this kind of expertise. These are the topics I want to be vocal about, I'm passionate about. What are those 3 content pillars? And once you have them, then you need to act on those. Having them is great, and then you have to act on them. And then, so for example, one of your pillar could help you answer the question, what I want to be known for. Your other pillar can help you, talk about topics you care about, you believe in. These are the values, I stand for these things. And another content pillar can just be, like showing your work, how you helping your clients, like they're struggling with this thing. This is what I'm doing to help my clients. Like, these are just some ideas if you don't have any content pillars. But these are the spaces, and when I say space, it's like the expertise you want to develop and like be known for. So ask yourself, what are those 3 pillars? But it seems like almost everyone has those pillars. It's just acting on them for some people. That is still in progress. And I see, okay, accessible dietetic success, removing barriers for internationally trained RDs, maximizing learning for exam prep. Yelena, you don't have your pillars yet. Do you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I think about it, no, I don't have it. That's why I like your slide. So I'm gonna think, what, like asking myself these questions. And I was saying it was more, when I don't know, I'm sharing either some of my work or I'm sharing ideas, but it's more me vibing when I'm like, oh, I'm feeling doing like posting this, but there is no real strategy. And when you ask the 3 pillars, I'm like, actually, yeah, I don't have this, so I'm gonna work on that.
Okay, so some homework for you, Yelena.
Yeah, thanks.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. But yes, homework for everyone. If you don't have your pillars, really define them, and then strategically be like, how am I going to communicate those pillars? But thank you so much for sharing, everyone. So let's say now that we have our content pillars, I want us to, I don't know if it's like people here also have experienced that. I don't know what to post, but I want you to remove that idea. I don't know what to post. So question that I have for you, who feels like they have nothing to say? But it seems like when I asked about the content pillars, you guys had some really great pillars. Does anyone here sometimes struggle with posting?
I think the problem is that we have a lot of content. Like, well, speaking for myself personally, I know there's a lot that I could say, but I think part of it is that I'm trying to identify what exactly is it that's really my hurdle. What's holding me back is I don't think I've fully understood it. First, okay, no, partly. I know I've always been, I'm a very introverted person. Even most people would say you don't come across that way at all, but I am. I just, so I'm trying to overcome that to say there's a part, yep, I don't want to be there. I don't want to engage. I don't want to be, talking to people and all of that. But I'm also passionate about what I do. So I'm trying to find that balance with staying myself, so not really be so interested in all that engagement, but still getting my voice out there. That's the hurdle. I don't know how to deal with that. Maybe get a coach, maybe what, I don't really know. But
When you say, so have you tried posting?
mhm.
Okay. So how did it go?
Oh, whenever I write out there, I feel very good about the points and I do get engagement, but then I have to start sitting down and replying to comment and I'm just feeling like, okay, that's a part of it I don't want. Just read it and get away.
Okay, so you don't, oh, so are you saying you don't enjoy connecting with people?
Yeah, in a sense, when I'm not in the mood, I would say.
Okay.
So not
So
all
you
the time.
So if
Mhm.
I understand, like you okay with posting, but you don't like to engage with people, like connect with them, like if they actually comment or send you DMs or things like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that part of it starts to feel tedious for me.
Okay. So so you're not are you not I'm sorry if I'm asking too many
No,
questions.
Phil, no, no, no. I'm here to get help because I think that there must be a way to do it to make it work, so I don't mind the questions.
Because I think also like fundamentally, um, there's a part of like with social media, and that's the word social.
Hmm.
Like there's a part like I know it's like online and all of that, but this the goal is to connect as well with people.
Hmm.
So if fundamentally you don't enjoy, like that's why I'm trying to see if like fundamentally you don't enjoy connecting, or it's because this is taking a lot of time. So in that case, maybe you could have, I don't know, an intern doing the community management. That's what we're going to call it, the community management piece of
That's a
like,
good point. Yeah.
replying because you that's not what you like. But
Mhm.
fundamentally, and that's because it's it's called social media, the goal is still to be social. So
Yeah.
there's the part where we're trying to connect with people, like when we write something we don't know who's going to resonate with, but like there's that level of connection we're going to have with people, and actually seeing people commenting on your post, sending you DMs, like this is really positive. It's actually very positive. It means they took the time to read what you wrote, to reply or comment on your post. Something resonated with them. So actually, this is very positive.
I know. And I really do write. I'm a volume writer. I don't even use graphics. And all. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'd see like I'm very wordy. And that again is one of the ways where I'm trying to stay authentic. I don't want to be driven by trends. Oh, it has to be graphics. It has to be, I'm just a word person. But anyways, I want to learn to just make it work. That's the point. Like bring
Yeah,
the balance.
but also like talking with you, I think it's also good for us to all also understand what we like, what we don't like. Like for example, like I have some, like I work with women founders, like some they're like, I don't like social media. Like I really don't like spending the time and trying to post, but they know they need to be on social for the business. In that case, I'm like, just hire someone, an intern, someone else who will do it for you. But like still, you still need to be on social media. Like that was for to manage the company corporate social media accounts. But knowing what you like, because it shouldn't be like a burden, like going on social media, but you still need to understand for your business, this is very strategic. So if it's not you who is carrying that, or even like the community management piece of that, maybe that someone else can carry the community management piece, but you still the voice posting. And then
That's a good
someone
point.
else is managing all the comments and DMs for you.
No, that's a good point. Thank you. Maybe when I make enough money, I can open social media for introverts. That's a dream.
But there are some really great people on LinkedIn that I just want, if I find the name, I will share with Karine if she wants to share after with you. But there's like someone who's an introvert. She's literally an introvert. She's on LinkedIn. And she has like lots of followers. Like she's an influencer, and like she's telling her experience as an introvert and like being in those spaces on social media. There are a lot of people who are introverts, and but they still on social media. There's
Yeah. Yeah, I follow one of them, Lisa. She's
yes,
amazing.
Lisa, yes, yes, yes. She should
Lisa is great.
inspire. She should inspire you.
She really has. She really has. Truly. We've
Yes,
connected. Yeah.
I was thinking about Lisa exactly. I was thinking
Lisa
about
is
her.
amazing.
So Grace, it is possible. I know you know.
Yeah.
You have no excuse. I know you know.
Right? You took away my excuse now.
Zero excuse, Grace.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
No worries.
Anyone else sometimes feels like they have nothing to say? No, that's great. I don't see any more. I don't see any more comments in the chat. But yeah, like this is something I heard sometimes from some women entrepreneurs. They sometimes tell me, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to post. I'm not inspired. Um, just know your own unique journey. Like just be who you are, like your own unique journey. What you stand for, what you believe in, the reason why you started this journey, the new, fresh, the different perspective you're bringing to a specific topic. I could go on and on and on. Everything is worth sharing. And you always have something to say. And in case, but it seems this group doesn't need it, but in case like sometimes you feel like I don't know what to say, you can start, for example, like sharing why you started this journey. Why did you start your business? What made you start business? Like the why story, everyone has a why story. Even though you're doing something similar to someone, first of all, the reason why you started doing it is different. Like I have a marketing agency. So many people all have marketing agencies. But the reason why I started my business is different than someone else. Like I went through my own personal journey. Even though we might both have marketing agencies, our why stories will be different. And it's always worth sharing that why story. And even for yourself, sometimes for people who sometimes you struggle, just remember why you started. Like sometimes you even need for yourself to remember what's like, yes, this is why I'm doing this, you know, to sometimes not give up on your dreams or whatever you're trying to accomplish. So the why story is one of the story. The lessons you've learned, these are also great posts. They can inspire other people. The mistakes you made. No one is perfect. Entrepreneurship is a roller coaster. It's always a learning experience. We make mistakes, we learn, and it's always also great to share those. You might have some like client insights, like also you can share like very industry specific perspective on things that can, you know, our take on marketing, for example, might be different from another agency. We do social impact marketing, which is different from different kind of marketing, for example, growth marketing, or I don't know, I'm just giving an example, even though growth can still be applied to that, but the positioning will be different. And like the insights you will be sharing will be different. So this is also things that you have with your own very unique perspective that are worth sharing. You might have opinions, you might have values, you might have causes you care about, you know, like there are so many ways to share content for those who might need inspiration. Exactly, Edina. Start with why. But yes, exactly. And the behind the scenes. Also, you know, giving like opening that door and like letting people see what's actually happening behind the scenes. Also, like they also are like great ways of it's a great way of also sharing content. So I'm just sharing some ideas, putting them out there, and now we can give it a try. Shall we? Are you ready? Are you okay so far? Oh, it's 2 p.m. I can't believe this. Oh my God, time flies when you're having fun. Shall we give it a try? I actually, I can stay like maybe another 10 minutes, but then I will have to go. Do you guys want to give it a try? Yes, I see. Yes, thumbs up. We do it. Let's do it.
Nice. Thank you so much, Hermine, for your presentation. I don't know, we can probably take one or two questions at this point. If you guys have questions that you want to ask Hermine, this is the time.
No
It's a
question?
personal question, though.
Personal. Oh.
Well, not so much related to marketing. No, I was just reading your profile and it says something like you are an impact investor. What does that mean?
Yes. So we were talking about tools. So for me, money is a tool. It's literally a tool, and it's a tool for me to advance and like support founders that are advancing causes that I care about. So an impact investor for me, I invest in early stage startups, but the way I do it, it's also based on like the company itself and what they're trying to accomplish. So I have interest as a woman founder, like women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. And recently, I got even more interested. It's just because I realized women, we have like a lot of disease. Unfortunately, they still haven't found cures to some of the disease. So like companies that are trying to solve those kind of issues, like about women health, are also companies that I'd like to invest in. But pretty much like I invest in early stage startups, but like I think about the impact of those companies,
Mm-hmm.
be for the communities, I don't know, the environment, or it's just the kind of like the impact as well. It's not just investing to invest kind of thing. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yep, for sure. No, it's good. I would reach out on LinkedIn. I would like to connect and talk more if you have some time.
Absolutely. My pleasure, guys. And thank you so much for sharing.
Okay,
My
we can
pleasure.
maybe
This was
take
helpful.
one more question. I think Audrey has her hands up. Okay, perfect.
Hi. I'll try to put it down here. It's interesting what you said about sort of the social cost, social aspect of it, because I'm doing my business entirely based on sort of social impact and, the importance of education and empowerment. And I'm 58 years old, and it's very much a choice to be doing this at this point. But I find that just going through this, identifying the pillars was helpful. I just kind of did that with, thinking and the work I've been doing with ChatGPT and pop those up into the chat. But in terms of sort of further content development, like I've in the last year worked with a couple differents that weren't entirely sort of consistent. And I guess at the end of the day, like what you're saying is, be really, really clear on your pillars. And isn't it better for you to try to kind of find ways to develop your own content, or is it better to try to find the fit with
Oh, I think like
marketing
we are losing you, Audrey.
company that just really gets it? I guess I'm just really struggling because I feel like oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, your communication is cutting
Okay.
out.
Yeah, it was just where I was on the road. So I guess I'm just the advice at the end of the day. So that next step around, where do you go from here? What was that going to be as part of this conversation? And because I feel like I'm like just even that identifying the content pillars, I feel like I've just kind of done that through this, but now what? Like, how do I do this on my own, still with that struggle of the time and that kind of thing? And is it better to try to just get somebody to help?
I guess it will be, I guess it depends on how comfortable you are. So if you already have your content pillars, it's just like I would say jump. Like I always say, tell people jump. Just like go try and see, you can always like the more you will post, the more comfortable you will also feel about posting. But you have to try. You really have to try. And I like, for example, I think Grace was saying, I don't like replying to comments and like DMs. At least she posted and then she realized, okay, this is not for me. So at least that piece of community management, someone else can handle that, but she's still posting. I feel like you have to start posting somehow and like just kind of see how it goes, but you have to jump and do it.
Yeah, and the posting is doing reels, like doing videos of yourself as opposed to static posting, right? Essentially, like that's the ideal.
Oh, I mean, it's a mix because every kind of post will have like different purposes or like people will react differently. So it's always kind of a mix in terms of, but I would say really if you like doing it, really be yourself because like you want to attract your people. Like you're not there for everyone. You want to attract your people. So how comfortable you are, just show up, just show up and you will see how people receive that at least, but just start somewhere.
Okay, perfect. So we are closing this session and actually,
Elena had one question.
yeah, like I think it's okay. Maybe we can extend like Hermine is actually in circle. So you guys can reach out. We just want to be mindful of the time, but you guys can definitely reach out to Hermine. We have shared her LinkedIn information. She's also a board of advisor at CanWCC. She has a circle profile. So you guys can go in circle and DM her and actually book a session with her. That's her job. That's her warm lead opportunity for her to maybe convert. So there's different ways to convert, and I'm happy that this was very dynamic. I just want to quickly remind you that we are launching a virtual co-working for content creation. And I think based on the conversation that we have, I think the challenge can also be the time. Like you have these ideas, but how do you carve out time to actually sit on your computer and post? And we would love to support you by carving out 90 minutes per month by joining our virtual co-working. It's just gonna be a space where you come, you work on your content. The video is recorded, so you can always go back to that and kind of work on your pillars, or maybe really work on your calendar and get that job done. So thank you so much, Hermine. Watch out for the virtual co-working. You'll have to join the space to be able to work with us and join a new community of people who are willing to show up for their business and be authentic in telling their stories and reaching out to the community. Thank you so much for your time.